have you weed? I'm not asking you for weed. Have you weed? What is this? What's so hard to understand? Why? Just because I look like this and I'm asking, have you weed?
Have you pissed that toilet? What's the sticker on your jacket falling off?
Oh, this is a sticker from Hannah Smith, who I bought a print of. She's an artist here in the vault, and I also bought a jumper. So the other day I was coming in the foyer, and I just got some good news. I got a good email, so I was in buoyant form. Good. I think I'd rang you that same morning and woke you up to tell you the news.
Yes. Which was hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, because I rang you and I was like, oh, I forgot we're on completely different cycles. I'll call you back.
And I was like, if you leave this conversation without telling me why you woke me up, I will fucking kill you. And you were like, okay.
So anyway,
and then it was great news. And I was like, oh, great.
I came in the vault in similar form, and she was packaging up a load of jumpers and stuff. Mm-hmm. She's like, do you want to just stick on a jumper and let me take a photo of you just for advertising the merch? And I goes, I'll do you one better. I'll buy one off you right now. So she gave me that wee sticker as well.
Great.
And I wore it out to the NI Music Prize, and I felt like the belle of the ball. I didn't really.
The belle of the ball
gag.
Bags.
Neither of us shrouded in glory there, Nathan.
Yeah, none of us did really well out of that.
Welcome to Mad Notions.
Welcome. Where the takes are hot and the awareness of what it does to our careers is low.
And the temperature is clearly cold as well.
Still cold, though this may be... No, this is still January. This is going to be... Yeah. So
I might have mistakenly said the last one was January.
No, I think we're probably still in the same ballpark. Yeah, we're fine. Should we... No, we shouldn't. I was going to say should we, but if they're banked up, there's no reason to take a break over Christmas. Yeah, it'll be fine.
No, we'll keep going.
What? Go on.
Can I bring something up? I was meant to bring it up in the last episode.
Absolutely.
Your inability to use social media correctly is frankly astounding.
What have I done?
So, do you remember? So we missed a week there because the audio
hilariously slowed down.
So it was slowed down, and we sounded very slower and stupider than usual.
Yeah, it essentially just meant that instead of talking like this, we were kind of talking like this, and it was a bit slower.
Which Nathan realised as he was editing at 3 a.m?
Yeah, I need to stop doing it. So
at which point, you decided to explain what was going on Instagram Live.
It wasn't Instagram Live.
Or your Instagram stories.
I just did stories,
Yeah, at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Now, they come off in 15-second increments.
Yeah.
And I tallied it up, and it took you nearly 10 minutes. And I was like,
I think
does he know?
I think you're putting down, you're chalking up incorrectly. What you've drawn the conclusion that it's a misunderstanding of how to use social media, and I think it's just that I just thought it'd be funny to just do a long rambly fucking. I was like, what else am I going to do? I was planning to stay up to 4:30 or 5 at least to get this done. And what am I just going to go to bed right away without giving the people what they want? A ramble? I have felt so slighted by your post in the fucking. I was like, well, fuck you then, you fucking cunt. It was really frustrating. I was kind of glad though, I'll be honest. See when there was a problem.
Give you an out, did it?
I had to sleep, man. I was so fucking tired that day.
Well, I can sympathise because I listened to the audio before I had sent it to you. Uh-huh. I didn't tell you this. I
knew that there was
I didn't know, but I was so tired. I was like,
you kind of thought.
I was like, am I going mad, or do we sound really dumb and slow? And then I was listening to
all the laughs and all were like, ha ha.
Yeah, but then I was like comparing it with other ones that we published. And I was like, my head is fried. I don't know. I was like, maybe I've just been really tired for the last few weeks, and that's just how I sound now.
Can I just say, by the way, you just reminded me. A shout out to I hope I get this right. I think it was Lily Graver said. One of the funniest responses to this whole thing, which is such an amazing callback. She said, she was like, well, at least at the speed he plays it at, Wilfie will be able to understand this podcast.
That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut, man.
That's from season 1.
I fucking died laughing whenever I read that. It's so rude, but so funny.
That's the sort of stuff we want more of on this
Oh.
podcast. That's the sort of listener interaction we encourage.
It was. Do you want to know something that I found really funny? And I understand why it's happened, but just it makes me laugh. So we, which is now out and will have been seen, and hopefully you all enjoyed it. But we're getting like emails back and forth between us and Shailene and whatever, and like, and then we had another one from Francesca today about something, and always it's as if you're my agent or something. You're like thanks for this. I'll bring it up with himself whenever I next see. I'm seeing him today. Actually, we'll raise it directly to him.
Do you know what it is? That's
and I get them, but you've already replied by the time I see them, and I'm just
well, I mean, Francesco's waiting a week there.
Oh, I didn't see that. No, to be fair, yeah.
I came in the midst of the whole Christmas special, so I was like, "Fuck."
Oh,
I was
right.
like, I made a note. I was like, "Better get back to Francesca."
Right, okay. So I got like a notification for the reply then, or something. Yeah.
But that's work mode spilling out in the podcast mode, because that's the way. Like I'm there. Like the business has a lot of clients, a lot of different. Like they've built websites for a lot of different companies of like different types of people that you're from different sectors. So you're having to deal with everyone. You're trying to be formal, polite, and affable at the same time, and it's just spilled over. Like
it's just more.
That's essentially my job. Is half the time is like interact, like just being
Just
the
putting
face
people
with
off.
the client, just keeping in touch with all the clients and making sure
yeah.
they're kind of up to speed at where their project is
Yeah.
or isn't.
I've been trying to make a just with my own dealings. Like I would have been wild for fucking, and I don't know how I got away with it and didn't have more fuck ups than I've had. But like I would have been wild for like, I don't know. I'd be having my dinner or something, and I would get a text from somebody that books me for gigs, being like, "Oh, here, can you do Sunday or whatever?" And I'd look and I'd be like, "Yeah, I can, cool, yeah." And I'd text them back and be like, "Yeah, I can, no problem." And then I wouldn't put it in my diary.
Yeah.
And then it would get to Sunday and I'd be like, I think I have something to do today. And then I might remember it in a blind panic.
That would give me such anxiety. That would give me such... There's
did
no
for me.
amount of self-flagellation I would do upon realising that I had a gig booked that I wasn't
Yeah, well,
mentally or...
Yeah. And I kind of made, 95% of these just by happening to remember, but it wasn't in my diary. And I've like just been like, no, right, I need to start making notes of things. Also, something that I do a lot is like, so I don't know why this happens, and like genuinely, this does happen, and I keep setting the notifications on my Facebook page to not do this, but for some reason it just doesn't work. But I get messages from people, and then I don't get a notification about it, and then like it's sitting there for ages, and then I meet them. And they're like, "Oh, thanks for not getting back to me." And then I'm like, and then I'll be like, "I didn't get a message from you." And then I look at my phone and I have gotten a message from them, and I'm just like, "Fuck's sake!" Like, or worse, well, less excuse for this, but like, or else in the middle of something, and I'll get a message from someone, and then read it and be like, "Oh, I'll get back to that in a bit," and then just completely forget. And then that's probably
Well,
worse.
that's why you have me, your agent.
Well,
Mr. 12.5% over here.
That's a very low competitive rate. I'll take you up on that.
Shit! Fucking did it again.
It's
I'm
always
the worst
20.
agent ever. You
do
should
it.
see the bad deals I've negotiated for you, Nathan.
You'll do it for £10, and I'll take £250. But or will it be 125?
It would be 125.
Sorry.
I think. Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
That's what our accountant's for.
Hey, I'm just the agent. I'm not a figures guy. I'm a pizzazz guy. Yeah.
He'll be there.
Yeah, we'll get back to you soon. 3 to 5 working days.
You.
Kind regards.
You want to make sure you get your salutations and exits off your emails.
Trying to bring the dab back.
The dad.
The dab.
Oh, the dab. Yeah, I noticed that.
I think
there.
I'm the guy to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be you.
It's got to be me.
It's going to be you. Yeah. If we think about where it came from, you're the most natural way to. you're the
The
clearest.
torch carrier.
You're the clearest torch carrier for how to continue that fad. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's been a thing that, because you're always good for getting back. And then I always feel bad whenever I later read the correspondence between people, and there's like this, like, There's this like implicit tone in all the emails between everybody. It's like, oh well, Nathan's obviously not reading this, and I'm like, no, I am reading this. He just got there first.
And it also doesn't. This dynamic doesn't. It doesn't help when my tendency to throw caution to the wind and say almost yes to almost anything.
Yes. Yes. That has gotten us in trouble. Well, personal trouble before. I can think of one in particular.
I can't.
Do you know what though? I think sometimes like when I look back on some of those times where like I was like, what the fuck did you say yeah to that for? Like it was probably never as big a deal as it made it out to be. It was just yeah. I have these like hard lines drawn in my head for people that I feel have wronged me. And like it's probably not fair.
Some would call it a hit list.
Yeah, you know, but it's like I just have this like list of folks about the place that I just go like, nope, fuck you, and then I don't know. But obviously you've had your own experiences with them, and then don't say it the same way, and then would probably fairly enough be like, oh, what's the problem? And I'm just like, no, but they were rude to me once 5 years ago, and they probably weren't aware that it happened.
This sounds really wanky. I'm aware this sounds really wanky. And don't want to sound like I'm being like high horsey or all pious and fucking righteous, but like I do find that like when you just kind of accept the fact that everybody sees things differently, like it's really weird to step outside your, like even accepting that is a thing, you just have to end up kind of for the most part shrugging your shoulders and getting on with it.
Yeah,
I know that sounds like I'm going just fucking relax, man. That's not what I'm saying, because the flip side of that is you get too passive and you become apathetic to absolutely everything and you stand for nothing. That's not what I'm saying. But
yeah. I think I've turned a kind of a slight corner with that sort of stuff, which is that I'll still probably not really want to do the things, but I don't feel the need to like make as big a deal about telling them no in a certain way. I just go like, nah, I can't do that, sorry, and just try kind of seem polite, but just
I've always been like, a fuck it, I'll do it and let's just see what happens. Sure, the worst, like the worst thing it will be is an experience, I know, I'll learn from it. But there's a few things I definitely wish I hadn't said yes to, which is like doing the generator and the Output Festival podcast, like going up there, just me, because I was like,
not even that it was just you.
Well, I think in hindsight I was like, I was kind of I was at the time I was like, it's no big deal, it's just there's one seat, so go up and represent what you're supposed to be doing. But I was like, represent. I was like, we're a brand.
Yeah.
We're Mel and Sue, we're Ant and Deck.
And in the most passive aggressive way possible, I went to it and sat in the back.
Very distracting.
And just eyeballed them the whole time.
Very distracting.
I think for that though, and we talked about it, like I think my thing was just like, and here's where, why you shouldn't throw stones, like kind of comes into play, is that like, generally a lot of the time for stuff like that, I look at like who's on the panel, not that podcasting specifically, but just sometimes like some of these talks, and it's like how to write a hit or how to fucking this and that and whatever. And like I generally see that panels are populated by people who haven't done those things either. And then like, and my thing with that one, that I think the title of it was like how to start a podcast, was it, or what was it? Do you remember?
Can't mind.
I just remember like kind of going like, but sure, we've only just started. Like, who the fuck are we to be telling people how to do anything? Like, I don't think we're the authorities. And I mean, like, really, if they wanted to get someone from Northern Ireland, like about like running like a successful podcast, I wouldn't have thought we would have been in the top. I think it was like we were on the positive end of what I sometimes feel is just like instead of really thinking about who would be the best person to deliver this message, I sometimes feel it turns into like, oh, who's just like around,
and that's this guy. He's always around.
That we know, but no, but with notice, I don't mean that like as because I mean it's our podcast. I mean, the points I'm making here are this reflected on me just the same too in that regard. But like, I don't know. There's been times I don't know how I feel about like all these kind of conferences.
Let's not go down this well-worn track.
It's just so
we've been over this.
You're probably right. Yeah, I don't know. Was Bruce Springsteen going to any chats about like how to be Bruce Springsteen? Nah, he wasn't. You know, it's just so
But
silly.
as you said last week, Nathan, that's a ridiculous comparison to make.
It is.
There you are, hoisted by your own petard.
My own petard. God, well. My words back at me. Yeah, no, I know. See, I do like to dwell on the negative, don't I? I just love it. I love a gripe.
It fuels you.
Have you any gripes?
Not really, no. Apart from the whole dump thing, but I've exhausted that.
You really let them have it last week. What's with
The
these
general
signs?
public, in defense of the dump workers, like.
What's with these signs?
So I'll be playing at the Empire open mic night and I'll be playing.
If there was more open mic comedy nights around, would you go? I don't mean to watch. I mean to. Would you ever think about?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
What do you think you would have a tight 5 on? I suppose you probably just get like a minute. Yeah, probably for
I
those
don't
sorts of
know, but like, either I just don't like preparing for things, or I like the
idea of going up kind of free.
the rush of going up and just seeing what the fuck happen.
Yeah.
You know, but that's
I was listening to.
yeah. You're gonna like that. You'll
find out how funny you are.
No, you will bomb and you will suffer a lot doing that. You would have to put in the work, and I don't think I would have the. Belfast would be a weird place to do it.
Okay.
I think.
Why?
I think it's a kind of a hostile city.
Do you think so?
Even
For comedy?
it's crack. No, but the crack. I find like sometimes the sense of kind of crack and banter can veer on the aggressive at times.
Do you think so? How so? What do you mean?
Just like so working in the opera house for years, there would have been a lot of stand up there, and
Of course, yeah.
always very, very, very ready to chip in the audience, you know.
Oh, right, I understand.
And
okay.
I
Totally get you now. Sorry. Right, I thought you meant from the stage. Right.
So that like there's just a general. I always think there's just a simmering of aggression in Belfast anyway.
Yeah. I think there's
Which I think, like, if anything, your weekly woes of gigging kind of document. There's just there. It's a strange city because of what we've just come out of historically, and that I think the fallout and the trauma from that just simmers underneath everything. So there's just this weird level of edginess and aggression that I don't think I would be mentally equipped for being on stage without a comfort blanket of music or a guitar or somebody to kind of interact with.
Yeah.
Tough, like.
No.
I would like to do it because I think I would get a wild thrill out of it.
Yeah.
But I think the first joke not to land, and that'd be me gone. And be like, you know what? Fuck it. Good night.
Yeah. There's a
Remember me as I was from the first joke. We got a smattering of applause.
I remember going to like there was a comedy night in the Limelight that I don't know if it's still going. Might have been it might have just stopped because of lockdown. Actually, I can't remember if it's still on. But anyway, and it was like a new night. Just wanted to check it out. I like going to see comedy, and generally the things that I would want to go to, I can't go to. So it just happened to be on a night where I was free, and I was like, class, go and check it out. Didn't know who was going to be featured or whatever. Like, but always happy, the same as I am with music, to like go and give understand that like just because I don't know who people are doesn't mean that they're not good at what they do. You know what I mean? Like, because I kind of rely on that for myself. Like when I go up and fucking stand in front of a bunch of folks who aren't my audience or whatever, like, it's like, but anyway. So but I don't know if it was the room or something, like, but I hated it. It was the like least up for crack I've ever felt like an audience be. And so there was one guy on who we caught only the tail end of, and he was kind of getting like a kind of a kind of like not great laughter, and then because we only caught the tail end of it, a lot of stuff he was saying was obviously like referencing maybe something he had said a minute ago, so I wasn't really following. And then a girl from Galway came on, and I think she was meant to have like 5 minutes, and she left after like maybe a minute. It just, everything she said, man, just no laughter. And I've never wanted like to just not be in an environment more. Just was going, and like I was like, fair play. Like she's probably going to carry on going to another night and whatever, and carrying on doing this. But like it was just like, just looking at it, going like, if you're really committed to comedy, I imagine like it's surely just years.
Yeah, that's it.
Of eating dog shit, and then you might get a fucking smile cracked. But there were.
Do you know what? I think that's what's so daunting is because I know myself that like, my dad's really funny and my brother's really funny, and I've always tried, like, my go-to thing is always to try and make people laugh, like make mates laugh. So it's like if I was to go up on stage and just bomb, you'd be like, who am I? You know?
Yeah.
I thought this was what I did, you know?
Yeah. Well, it was funny.
I would also be terribly arrogant because I don't watch a while out of stand-up and I don't
Yeah.
go to stand-up. So
I fucking love it. I there's a podcast that I listen to almost to revel in the awkwardness of it. It's called the Kill Tony podcast, and the idea, it's basically like a kind of like there's like a hat, and at the start of the night you can put your name in. And they were mostly in LA for a while. They're in Texas now, but the odd time they would like tour. They've been in like Whelan's and stuff like that. Yeah, and the idea is anybody put their name in, you get a minute to try and make people laugh, and then afterwards there's like an interview with like the panel of comedians, and it's sort of like the host is Tony Hinchcliffe. He is a savage. Like, it is just like you wouldn't want to fucking say the wrong syllable around him. Like, he is just so on the ball with just, he'll ruin you. Like, sometimes I listen to it, I'm just like, I can't believe these people are still even up there. Like, I would have just left. I would have just been like, I'm obviously not funny. I understand. I understand my mistake now, Tony. Okay. But and then there's another guy, Brian Redban. He creeps the fuck out of me, to be honest. And then there's guests. So just whoever's in town normally, it seems. But you get a minute, and it's on YouTube as well, which is where I would recommend, if you had the time, to go, and if you're really going, if you're going to watch it, or if you're going to listen to it or give it any of your time, I would recommend watching it, because it's amazing. It's always the people who come up, almost like, not always, but I find the people that I enjoy the most are the people who just come up and don't carry themselves in a way that suggests that they think that they're hilarious. Do you know what I mean? But it's always the ones that come up to think that they're hilarious are the worst. And also then, like, clearly, like, not even like, you know, I mean, just by the room or whatever, you know, like, no one's laughing. People are like, ugh. Like, just like there's a groan after everything they say. And like, you know, the idea, I think, is like, if you're nice about it and you go like, oh, I'll hold my hands up, that was terrible, and whatever, I guess that wasn't a very good minute of comedy, I think they'll try help you. They'll take the piss out of you, but they'll try help you. But if there's like a fucking even a hint of like, they're just a bad crowd and I'm fucking class, they'll kill you. Like, and it's the most awkward thing to listen to, but I love it. It actually makes me feel better about things. Sometimes just go like, oh, well, I'm not that mental. But I was listening. I asked because I was listening to a podcast earlier when I was cleaning up, and it's a husband and wife that are both comedians, and they were talking about like the difference between people who are funny and people who are comedians. Well, professional comedians, obviously. Like, and they were saying, you know, like, They were like, I know loads of people that are very funny, very naturally funny. Like, they might be very funny at dinner, fun people to go and drink with or whatever. But he was like, the difference between that and like a professional comedian is like, you know, you might be funny if you're set up right, but like, how funny are you when you've been booked to, you know, go and stand in front of people for an hour and a half, and you just got off the phone and your dog died, and you're fucking, you know, your grandmother's in hospital, and you're fucking whatever.
Fucking hell.
You know what I mean? And
she's back from the dead?
yeah. Well, I'm rejoicing at the news. Yeah. She must be, this is all going in reverse. But he's like, you know.
I knew she could do it. I told you she'd be back.
That's why I didn't cry at the funeral. I was like, I don't believe this for a minute. This is classic Granny.
It was worth falling out with Dad for 10 years for.
But I just thought that was like a really interesting. It was like a way I'd never thought about it before. It was just like, and which made me all the more certain I should never try it. It's just like I don't know. Sometimes like when we're doing this, I feel like I have the ability to like just either try and use for content what I'm annoyed about, or just park something and just carry on and try.
I think we should be pivoting together to as brand O'Regan / McCullough and trying to fucking fill the Ant and Deck sized hole in Northern Irish mainstream media.
What show would they put us on?
Real or fictional, or we get to make up our own show, or
I'll take either.
I'm
I literally thought of the question 10 seconds ago.
And I was like, I haven't watched terrestrial TV in years. What be's on? Lesser Spotted Ulster, we could do that. Just being you
What
taking
is that?
Lesser Spotted Ulster.
I never heard of that at all.
Yeah, I don't really know what it's about. I think it's about farms, maybe.
Great.
We could just go walk around a farm, pointing the things and say you shouldn't eat that. Stop eating that. Look at its big,
It's the
beautiful brown
fence.
eyes.
It's just a fence keeping the sheep in.
Don't eat the fence either.
Yeah, I thought that
We could do Jackie's Jaunts. Remember when Jackie Fullerton had his kind of existential walkabout program? We could do that.
No.
That was about 10 years ago.
I haven't watched any of these programs. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Jackie Fullerton's
I don't
existential
even know who Jackie
walkabout.
Fullerton.
He was he used to do all the commentating on the football.
Right, okay.
Loved describing men by their height. All 6'3" of them. Every guy on the pitch.
Was 6'3".
Just think, we could be. Look, we're both half as good as Paddy Keelty, and together we're one full Paddy Keelty.
I mean,
Dare I say it? I think we might even be better than Paddy Keelty together. Paddy, if you're listening, love to have you on the show.
he's a big fan, I'm sure. I don't know. I would love the idea. We've talked about this before, like in just like, you know, pie in the sky stuff. Like, but I think I'd be up for like the idea of like me and you and like you know, a crew of our choosing going off and having a bit of crack and filming it and editing it and like selling it back to like a TV show.
Yeah.
Not that I think anybody would be crying out for it. I just mean like I'd be up for that sort of a thing. I think I'd fucking hate sometimes when you're watching like BBC things or like ITV things, whatever, like, and someone's been like in a role for a long time, I just feel like you can just see, you know, in their head, they're gone.
In my fantasies about if we were...
I think you'd be a good game show host.
Me, really?
Yeah.
Yes, I would love to be a game show host. What's the fucking crack, people? Let's go back. We're back here for Guess That Number.
You got your little, you know, pointer mic and all, you know, like the wee long, like Steve Harvey mic out to here. Like, what is it?
I'm joined here by Nathan, who is a musician from Cork.
That is correct, Mick. But very happy to be here.
Nathan, you want to guess that number?
Is it 6?
Wrong!
Slime.
I mean, what's not the low? I think we should just cut that and pitch that as it is.
Just guess that number. We should film an entire, really taking itself very seriously pilot.
There's another reason why I shouldn't do stand up. My ability to improv there, laid out in all its failures. Guess that number. It's the most basic fucking.
Do you know what? The last couple of weeks, whenever I had just randomly happened to have like a load of either trips to A&E or then follow-up appointments where I had to like sit in waiting rooms for a while, and they had on just because I genuinely haven't watched like, you know, like the Freeview channels in forever. Like I have no idea what's on, especially like, you know, 10 in the morning to 4. Like no idea who's even on there at all. I have no idea who any of the personalities are. But some of the game shows that they are clearly, you know, I guess they just will try anything for a season to see how it goes. Maybe it's the next thing. Like who'd ever thought Deal or No Deal would be a hit? You know what I mean? It's just a phone. But like some of them are terrible, man. So bad. Like, and you're just trying to follow. I mean, I imagine the key to like a good game show is just that it's like super easy to follow. You know, Family Fortunes is dead easy to...
What about The Cube? You know that one? Or The Wall, sorry. The Wall with Philip Schofield, where the wall moves really close towards you and you have to make the shape. There's like a shape cut out of the wall.
Yes. What the fuck? Like, the fuck?
We could present Naked Attraction.
How do they do that, man?
Look at the balls on that cunt.
I just think it's fuck. Sorry, I have You gonna be okay? This is literally the lowest hanging fruit. Just. I don't know how they get people to sign up for that shit, man. Like, it just, would you do that?
It's a brave new world. People, I'm all for the body positivity. I couldn't do it myself. I could not. I wouldn't. I just look ridiculous naked. I look like Abe's Odyssey. Do you remember that video game, Abe's Odyssey? That's what I look like naked. The wee alien who goes, follow me. Remember that?
No idea what you're talking about, sadly.
Kieran, my brother Kieran will do it.
He'll be
Because
rolling
it
around
was
this-
him who gave me the fucking complex.
I think I just look generally grand. Nothing spectacular or disappointing about me, I think, is how I like to view myself, you know, just like, I'll do.
Here to here, hairless. Not as, like a trout.
I've always thought it'd be nice to have completely shaved legs now. It'd be nice.
Why didn't you try it?
Just couldn't be bothered.
It's the maintenance, like.
Just couldn't be bothered, yeah. It's like what I learned with my face. It's just like once you start, it's a thing you have to do forever now. You know, it's like I did like, I'm sure like any boy going through puberty who was finally seeing the long awaited hair growing in places decided to shave just one strip of my leg, which still hasn't grown back. So there's just like one strip of my leg that is not covered in hair, or like finer hair.
Yeah.
And then all the hair around it is like grown into like, you know, regular man hair. And then, but there's just this one like stroke of a razor up my calf that just is bald and always has been.
It's
at the back.
All my hair anxieties started and ended around here.
Above the neck.
Yeah. I think I started growing a beard fairly young.
I still can't. Like, I have this one bit that just is so patchy, and it just won't fill in, and so therefore I'll not commit to just like a full beard.
I mean, I would call that a beard.
I think it's okay. Like, yeah, but I would like to have like a beard. Like, you've a beard. I've like.
This is just sheer neglect.
Yeah, but like.
I barely look in the mirror, I realised. Because I was like, do I need a shave? And I was like, fuck, you can usually tell. Even when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm just like hunched over in the sink.
Do you want to know a really fun and almost kind of sad fact about me? Is that so the vision in this eye is so bad that, so like, if you can imagine, if I'm looking straight at I'm gonna look straight at the camera for the benefit of the people watching. You can watch this podcast, by the way, and see how I shave. So when I'm shaving, right, and I'm trying to like get the line here, if I look in the mirror, I can see this side of my face. But because the vision is so poor in this eye, when I turn my head, all I can see is the bridge of my nose. And I can't see this. So every time I get my haircut, I get my mate Jade to just do the line. I'm like, will you do the line in my beard, please? Because I can't see it.
That's just gone dark. Well, I just want to double check that.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
Welcome back. We briefly had a laptop charger malfunction and lost.
My fault.
Well, it is, but it's okay. It's grand.
You told me to turn the sign off because it was reflecting on our other neon sign. And I'd hit both plugs, forgetting that one of the adapters had the charger in it.
Easily done.
Easily done.
Easily done. Don't worry. Didn't lose much anyway. We're only in the magnum opus that would have been known as How Nathan Shaves His Face. So I wouldn't worry. The long and short of it is I can't see the right hand side of my face when I'm shaving, and I get my friend to do it when she cuts my hair, and that was it. It was funnier in the moment.
See if I landed down in the house like this, with this on, and this beard. My dad he wouldn't let me in. He like this to him is like vagrancy.
It does look like vagrancy.
Does it look like I'm gonna go rob a kid's house?
You kind of do. Like, you're really playing into it at the minute. Harry. I can't believe you've never like make-upped
I know
an iron on.
I think me and Orla would be the perfect couple's costume because the height discrepancy then works, you know. Because that actor's really tall and Joe Pesci's really short. So, and I was thinking for Orla, it'd be good to get like the beanie cap and have like a fake kind of scalp, stitched
burnt
into
scalp.
the burnt scalp.
Yeah.
And a wee
So
gold tooth
good.
for Orly. That'd be amazing. What a great Halloween
The
costume
wee
that'd be.
fingerless gloves and all.
Yeah.
Please do.
Orly, if you're listening, which I know you do eventually.
yeah, this will be 2024
Yeah,
or
it'll
so.
probably be around Halloween when you're listening to this. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be fucking really funny, man. And I think that would be one for that's a real crowd pleaser, giving people what they want. It's funny if I were to and notoriously not into fashion or at all, but I always thought you'd look really dapper if you like played more into like your slenderness and like wore like, I think you could pull off like a real quirky looking suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I think you know what I mean. I'm trying to think of like a reference.
I would like to
Culturally.
find a nice vintage suit.
I think you could pull off like mad colourful suit.
Yeah, no, I would love that.
I think
It's just I just have to find the right suit.
but more form fitting.
Yeah, no, it's on the
Yeah.
cards. Like I just have
Yeah.
to find. It just has to be the suit for me. You know.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're gonna Jeff Davis this thing, it's got to be.
Yeah, no. Yeah, a friend of mine, Louise, has got a fucking great eye for fucking vintage finds, and she just goes into like all the vintage stores, knocks on. She always comes out with fucking amazing stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, you just got to go in and look for it, and you'll come out with the fucking greatest fit.
Tell me some good vintage shops, because me and Margaret were in town shopping the other day, like once a year.
Jesus, I don't know. I haven't been in the fucking town centre really for shopping in
Is that right?
years.
I was trying to think.
Gosh, avoid it like the plague.
Yeah, I was trying to think of somewhere to like, because we've got these fucking spend local cards.
Octopus's Garden, I think, is a place near City Hall. The Rusty Zip used to be on the Dublin Road. I'm not sure if it's still there now.
If anybody has any recommendations for cool vintage shops, let us know.
There's also the Vault pop-up shop just up the road there on the Newton Arts Road at the Portview Trading Centre. Loads of
yes.
cool shit there for sale, and you can use your spend local card there.
Class, which by the time this comes out will have run out.
Expired.
And you won't be able
This is all pointless.
you won't be able to use it, but you can still use regular money to go there too. We've chatted about this before, but Margaret does like a yearly shop, essentially, where she like me doesn't really. You all right?
A yearly shop for what? Like clothes? Or
Food.
Food? What?
Yeah, she's like me. She just doesn't like, not that she never goes and gets clothes, like, but she kind of like once a year she basically kind of just goes into town and just she goes into Primark and spends, which is what's brilliant about Primark. You just spend a fucking load of money, but you end up with like, you know, enough clothes to wear like a new t-shirt every day for like 50 quid. But it's so funny because she's like me. She, in that, like, she just buys clothes like very functionally. Like, I'm just like, really just like, I need this so that I can cover my skin.
Mm-hmm.
I will now put these in this bag and then I will leave, and then that will be the end of it. Like, which, you know, we've spoken about before, is like a thing that I would like to not do, but it's so funny. Like, do you ever go clothes shopping with Orla? Like, have you ever been out with her when she's clothes shopping or whatever?
No.
Never?
No.
Never?
No.
Ever?
Never. No.
By design?
Not like, we have never ventured into town together to go shopping.
Right, okay, yeah.
I don't think. No, I don't
I
think
don't really
we've
go
ever done
shopping,
that.
I just carry the bags. And then just
See,
have all my opinions
Two
ignored.
things. I hate shop. I just hate shopping, and Orla hates shopping because she works in retail for
Of course.
years there.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's
like
a busman's holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough. No, it's just funny. I feel like I can see what Margaret's going to get before she sees it, because I'm taller. And just like colours wise, style wise, just everything. I'm just gonna get two of those. She'll get that in brown. She'll buy two of those for work. Like, just like I always like, I just got it. Like, but like, it's so funny. Margaret has some really, really hard lines when it comes to like just certain colours that she will not wear. You know what I mean? And they're all ones that I really like. So like, I have like if I had like a gig coming up or something like that I wanted to look well for, or just anything that I wanted to buy, say like a shirt for.
An LBT,
What's
little
that?
black T-shirt.
Is that
Well, LBD is a thing.
Okay, sorry. I don't know any of these references.
A little black dress.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
God, man. It's
sorry.
fashion. Look it up, sweaty.
Sorry there, Louis Vuitton.
I think I'm very happy with my look at the
I think
moment.
you look great.
I think it's like winter vagrant chic. It's, I like this Orla's hat,
course it
Orla's
is.
scarf, Travis coat, my jumper, and my sweet new kicks.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Get his look.
But any time I ever like go like, oh, that's a nice shirt now, feeling adventurous, you know what I mean? I'll bring it home, put it on, and Margaret will make no effort to pretend that she likes it.
I can imagine it. I can
At all.
picture it immediately.
She'll be like saying, I'm going to set the scene. She'll be watching
Home.
Great British Bake Off or something, and she'll be just eating like maybe like a mandarin or something, and the dogs will be running around the living room, and I'll walk in with my new shirt on, just notice something sexier about me. And she'll just go, the fuck's that? And I'll be like, I bought a new shirt. And she'll be like, it's fucking stinking. And then that's the end of it.
Nathan, are you in an abusive relationship?
No,
Are you sure?
I don't think so. But funny.
Is she prohibiting you from expressing yourself?
No, I wear it anyway. But it's just like, but just without the blessing of the one
Blink
person.
twice for yes.
No, it's fine. But
Margaret, I'm warning you. If you hurt him,
a prime example recently.
he's a treasure. He is to be treasured. We need to nurture him
I'll get
an injured songbird.
I'll get a phone call or a thump in the arm in about 6 weeks whenever someone who listens to this, who's her friend, will tell her about this conversation. Be like, what the fuck are you talking about me in your podcast again, dickhead? And I'll not remember what I was saying. I'll be like, yeah, I don't remember what it was about. She'd be like, something wrong with the way I critique everything you wear. But like, so a prime example, right?
He does love her. He does.
I do. I love her dearly, dearly, dearly. But like, she's just so funny. Like, she just doesn't pull any punches, and I don't mind that she doesn't pull any punches.
She's
with
so
me.
made for the career that she's chosen.
100%.
I just think she was that's somebody who was born to be
Yeah,
in a caregiving role.
absolutely.
But
yeah.
it's that like
It's the tough love.
it's the berating you like. It's I remember my mate fucking Pete saying he was berated into good health by a load of dairy nurses one time when he was in Alton Gavin or whatever. Berated into good health, like
Yeah.
there's a certain and it's like it's almost like an archetype, but like
Yeah. The sassy nurse. yeah.
takes no shit.
Yeah, absolutely. She sure doesn't.
Whereas I'm having my own problems at home.
What's that?
If you want to hear about them,
Absolutely.
Orla
I can pivot back to my jacket problem in a wee sec.
Orla has started counselling.
Oh yes.
Or sorry, but
Learning counselling.
learning counselling.
Yeah. Or learning is
learning
maybe the wrong.
counselling.
She's learning.
Orla
about-
has returned to university.
There we go.
To
I'll
study.
make
to be a
the edit
counsellor.
there.
And it's bad news all around for me, Nathan, because
You're a case study walking.
because
Are you getting lots of? Huh.
yeah, but like she no problem remains unworked through now, which is a great bonus overall.
Would that be a thing that? Talk me through that. I'm interested in that now.
Just like if your energy is misguided, if you're angry at something, or you think you're angry at something, obviously, but it's like we assess it and we get down to the root of it and we talk it through and it's brilliant.
Okay. Was that not how it was before?
No, it's always been pretty good.
Yeah.
Like me and Orla have always fucking been on the level. Like, but it's just I feel like she's just gained a superpower now. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just fucking. It's amazing to see. But I'm like, sometimes I just want let me be angry about this.
I see. I'm like Orla, but without any of the qualifications, where I won't leave something go.
No, it's great. It's the
Yeah.
best thing about Orla is like we.
I think it's,
She like
it's a thing
I'd
people
be
should
more
try.
prone to a huff, whereas Orla's like, no, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it and solve it. And I'm like,
yeah.
I love you so much. You're so annoying.
I'm the exact same. If me and Margaret are ever having a fight, like I just won't. Like, you know that thing where like somebody will, be like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Whatever."
yeah.
And you're just like, you're obviously not. Why both of us walk around with the energy all day of, I know you're not okay, and you know that I know you're not okay about something. I don't know what it is yet. You want me, I guess, to figure it out myself, or I should know, or something, and I just don't know, and I'm sorry, I guess, but I can't figure it out until you tell me, so I'm just going to sit here and badger you until you tell me what the problem is, and then we can just talk it over. And like, remember how we always talk over all our problems, and then at the end we feel better about it, and we're not fighting anymore, and that's lovely. So like, let's get to that bit.
Well, Orla's like always kind of been a very empathetic communicator and fairly good at talking things out. And now it just feels like she's just leveled up.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see. Like, she's really fucking. I joshing earlier. Like, it's class to see her.
Yeah.
Like, really take to this course. Isn't it great?
I think she'd be in that.
Aren't the girls great?
The girls are great. Aren't they? Aren't they all lovely?
Cheers to Margaret and Orla.
Sure, they're lovely now. Fair play to yous. Fixing us, putting up with us and all, letting Mick wear all your clothes. How do you mean, like, because you said that she was already good at it before anyway, is it just more like, on her end, she has more of an understanding of like how to expedite the process now or something, do you mean? Or
She puts people at
is
ease.
that the right word?
I think Orla puts people at ease when they're talking to her. People are very open and friendly with Orla, and they take to her very
Yeah. That's a good quality to have.
naturally.
In a counsellor.
So she ends up listening a lot to people. So
Yeah.
What a woman.
Fair play to her.
Yeah.
Fair play.
I think she's had quite enough time in this podcast now. Let's move on.
I only wanted to.
I keep telling her, like, you're not allowed to talk about me in class. Don't talk about me in class. I swear to God, if I hear you're talking about me in class, this is over.
Do you wonder if there's like cameras up in your house right now and they just all sit around as a class and they just watch footage of you just going room to room, just thinking, just holding up Orla's clothes, just go.
Subject A.
And they pause and they're like, "This is what today's essay is about."
Boundaries and how to set them.
No, so there's this, just this fucking jacket. This is.
Sorry about the digression.
No, you're fine. I mean, I couldn't possibly be upset about it. I do them all the time. But it's been a running joke in our house now for like. It's almost like the world is trying to prove my point that Margaret is overly harsh about my fashion sense, right? But like, I have this, that brown leather jacket that I started wearing recently, like kind of like down just below the hip, sort of. What? There's a fucking hair from my scarf in my nose. That's too much fucking head.
This is a riveting view.
Shut up, the fuck. I got heckled mercilessly by a group of absolutely day over 18-year-old lads at my gig last night about this scarf as well. Just like football lads. You know those lads that are in bars that like no matter what situation they're in, they can turn it into a football match. Mm-hmm. Everything is like, he's not loving that scarf anymore. Yeah, I got to work on the
shit fabric. That shit fabric.
Grey on grey, dickhead, grey on grey.
Winter scarf wanker.
He's not singing. Oh, what's this? Whoops. It was meant to be this, but I was like, I'm blocking my face. I was too aware of the camera. He's not
Your
singing.
Honour.
Yeah, Your Honour. Anyway, I told him to fuck off and leave me alone. Stop picking on me, you young hip bastards. Anyway. So that jacket was given to me by Gareth because he was getting rid of it. And he's like, I'm getting rid of it. He was like, I'm just clearing out a load of shit. And he was like, I'm not going to wear this anymore. Do you want it before I throw it away? And I put it on and was like, I quite like this jacket. Actually, yes, I'll take it off your hands. Thank you very much.
And he didn't have the fucking gall to charge you a premium like some people we know.
You probably should. A lot of my best clothes I've now, upon reflection, like are all things that Gareth is like. I'm actually starting to think that Gareth is trying to help me, but knows that I'd be too kind. I'd be too proud if I thought that he just bought it for me. So he's just going like, I'm not wearing this anymore. Do you want this brand new shirt with a tag on? Just kind of going like, we need to sort all this out. And maybe him and Amy are like having chats whenever I leave the house, and they're just like, what are we going to do about Nathan's fashion sense? Going like, we're going to get a jacket, but we'll like maybe scuff it up a bit or something, just so it looks like someone wore it once at least, and then you'll feel better about it. And I do feel better about it.
Glad you can tell.
Yeah, I don't have any issues about this. I mean, he's got much better. It's like having a personal shopper. It's just like somebody with better fashion sense than you just goes,
I know all about it.
yeah, Trav.
I'm marrying one.
Yeah, exactly. But you mean you're marrying Orla, not Trav. Sorry, but
Orla as well has these kind of, what are they called? They're like they look like hobbit trousers on me. They're kind of like,
just regular trousers for Orla, you mean?
I don't know what they're called now, but they're kind of loose, fabricy.
Oh, her harem pants.
No. I have them. I have my own
Yes.
pair of them, but
Saw
they're
them
like
saw them
they're
last
like
week.
3/4 lengths. I can't remember what the fucking called. She's probably, if she's listening now, she's probably screaming at me.
Just
I want to say
3/4 lengths?
caliber. Yeah, but they're
Khakis?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Short
yeah.
trousers.
yeah.
Right.
I can't remember why I brought this up.
Okay.
I took to wearing them, and she was like, "Come on now, come on, they're mine, they're comfy, they're for me."
Right, okay,
Yeah,
right, okay.
so
Gotcha.
there's boundaries being set. You know, it's
Good.
not a free for all. Anyway, I keep.
It's
derailing
okay.
you.
It's okay. But
I don't know what this latest episode has been at all. It's been nonsense from start to finish.
It's all good. It's what the people are. If they're still here, it's surely what they want at this point. But
Who wouldn't put this on TV?
I can't imagine anybody who wouldn't. There's at least 4 people who will. I know. I can tell you that every week. 4 people at least. 4. But anyway, I'm going to get to the end of the story. I promise. So when I brought the jacket home, it was in the back of the car. I brought it in with me under my arm, and Margaret was like, "Is that jacket then?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I put it on, and I was like, put it on. I was like, putting the collar down, all like just like, going like, "What do you reckon?" She was just like, "Mm." I was like, "Well, I'll just go fuck myself then." And so that was grand. I kind of expected that, right? But was like, "No, fuck it. I'm going to wear this jacket anyway because I like it." And I was like, "I'm my own man. I can fucking wear whatever I like." And everywhere I go now, I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating this. Random fucking strangers in bars are stopping me to be like, "That is an incredible jacket. Where did you get that jacket?" I went in the other night to watch my mates, the Russian Dolls in Gordon Street, and there was this girl. So I went in and stood. I am not making this up. This is not to make myself sound amazing, right? I was standing, I had a mask on, and the Russian Dolls were playing in Gordon Street, and I wanted to see them. And so I just finished the gig myself, so I walked down around the corner, down to Gordon Street from the Dirty Union. And just inside the door of Gordon Street, there's a set of steps that go up to like a raised area, and I just stood on the corner of the steps,
Putting out the vibe.
couple of feet, just kind of doing my stink face, just kind of fucking enjoying the music, just keeping to myself. I could actually see there was people that I knew kind of off. Like,
You just went.
I just know what I had a mask on, and I was kind of enjoying the anonymity. please, oh, kiss a baby is okay. So I wasn't planning on staying long. I was just wanting to just hear a bit of the lads before I went home, and I was standing there, and there was 2 women in front of me dancing, and they were like lower because I was up the steps.
Just plan on being there enough time to spread your coaty jacket musk and then slink off into the night.
And I'm just standing there. I've got my hands in my pockets, and I'm just fucking watching the band, and I'm just like, just slightly, I guess, moving my head. That's me. That's me in this scenario. That's all I'm doing.
I mean, I'm
And they, I mean,
half erect just thinking about
half mast. But and they literally were dancing, and then they had like at one point they had like kind of turned and then did a double take and stopped dancing, and we're like, and it was because every day me and Margaret have a conversation about this jacket when I leave the house wearing it, and it's almost like every day the universe sends someone to be like, "It's okay, you keep wearing this jacket," and they stopped what they were doing, and they were like, and I was wearing the scarf as well, and it's like a brown leather jacket. They were like, "That's a great jacket.
You have to bring this jacket and wear it next time we're recording."
And I was like, "Thank you so much, cheers." And then the other girl was like, she was like, "It's very," and she was like they were like, "What is it?" It's like, it's very like, it's kind of like a Hugh Grant and Notting Hill sort of thing. And I was just like, amazing. But why won't Margaret think this? Because it's the only opinion that I care about. And it was just like, and she hates everything that I love. What is the problem with my jacket? Why can't I just have the things that I like and enjoy them? And then I go home and tell her that, and she goes, "No, they didn't. You're making that up." And I go, she just won't believe that anybody would think that this jacket is class. But so then when we're out shopping, And she's buying clothes. Like I'm walking around Primark with her, and she's like picking up stuff and whatever. And like, just fucking, I'll be like, I'll be like, so there was 2 years in a row where I went with her like a couple of years ago, I remember, and she kept just picking up things that she already owned like 3 of. So Margaret would pick up like a t-shirt and be like, I like that, I'm gonna buy 3 of those. I'd be like, cool, it's no bother. I would do the same with like a black t-shirt or something, that sort of a thing. And but Margaret would pick up like, again, 3 more of something, and I'm just going like, that you can just wash these clothes and wear them. You don't need like 6 of the same thing or whatever. And she's like, but I like it. It's fine. I'm like, yeah, but you have it. Like, stop spending the money twice on the same fucking thing. Like, I can't like. And she'd be like, I don't have this, and I'd be like, you fucking definitely do. You're wearing it right now. but like, I'll walk and I'll go like. And it doesn't help that it always happens in like around the winter, like Christmas time, because she always ends up veering just towards the fluffy section. There's like that fluffy section of Primark, and everything's just real fluffy, and you can just feel her just wandering over. And I'm going like, you own these already. You already have these. You don't need more of these. And she's like,
Margaret, we're still in the house.
We haven't left yet. But yeah, it's wild funny. Like, it's always like a little mini argument every year. It's just like, you already have this.
Well, I think the campaign to save Nathan's
There it is.
sense of individual style starts here in earnest.
Thanks, man. It's what I need.
I'll have words with her then.
This is why I don't have any confidence in being adventurous with any dress stuff. It's like literally like every fear I have. I guess now in hindsight, any fear I've ever expressed about like going like, oh, but then I'll be the cunt with the new jacket is literally just like, it's just from my living room. It's just like, she's such a bastard. She fucking doesn't let me. She just doesn't let me off the hook with anything. Like, she's such a fucker. Like, I swear to
She
God.
has no idea how high you can fly. Mark my words, O'Regan will get you looking stylish. Montage!
But yeah, fucking hell. I was laughing at her again the other day as well. Does this ever happen to you? You'd be having like a lovely like a wee tender. You might be about to leave the house or something, and there's like a wee tender moment, and you're just like having a wee hug and a wee kiss or something before you leave. And oh my God, which I was meant to bring up, right? So this plays into this nicely. So there's a follow-up question to this, but I'll get to it. Do you ever be like, just like, you're just having a wee kiss, whatever, and you just feel maybe on your back, maybe on your head or something, and then it just fixates on, and you're like, are you checking a spot right now on my head while this is happening? And she's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna get that later. And I'm just like, well, I feel disgusting now. I'm here rubbing your shoulders, and you're just going like, that's a big spot in your head. And I'm like, well, fuck you then.
Nathan, I'm worried.
Has that never happened? You just be like, have a nice wee moment, and Orla just goes, you can tell, like, just like, I'm gonna get that later.
That's usually your breath stinking.
Yeah, I get that too, to be fair. We need to put this to the people. I am confident that so I would equate this to, I don't think this is going to turn out like the do you wipe your whole sitting or standing debate, which BuzzFeed did once, and apparently was more 50-50 than people, like, I was shocked to learn that people didn't do it the way I did it. but Margaret thinks this is a 50-50. In fact, she thinks overwhelmingly people will agree with her, and I just don't think so, right? when it's a bit intimate. It's not too intimate. But when you are kissing, do you keep your eyes closed or open? So imagine like Orla's right here. Orla's right here. Are you like, are your eyes just fully open? Or are they closed?
I mean, like, closed.
Right. Thank you. Oh my God. She was like going like, we're going to do a fucking Facebook poll and all about this. I was like, we don't need to. Don't do it to yourself.
Well, you've just done it to her.
I told her I was going to, but she's so sure that she's going to be overwhelmingly the majority. I was like, why are you right?
So, as the question we're putting to the listeners, at the start of 2022, do you kiss with your eyes open or closed?
And is it weird if someone's eyes are...
Please get in touch via the Facebook group or email madnotionspodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear, do you kiss with your eyes open or closed?
Fuck off, I hear that tone. I hear that tone of voice. Fuck you,
no,
Nick.
No, I'm being sincere. I would love...
No, you are not.
I am, hand on heart, I am being sincere. I would fucking love if people's...
All I read there was like, right, well, this is how the year's going to be.
I'm committed to that. I would love people to get in touch with the most inane, random bullshit. And that is a great one. Because as hypothesized, it has possibly split the nation. So what better way to get a good bit of fucking...
Absolutely. Get a bit of traction on
Yeah,
this.
let's hear your thoughts. Kissing with your eyes open.
There's nothing weirder, I'm telling you, man. Because what happens is, like, so you're, obviously, you're not kissing your hand. This is Margaret, by the way. But, so, you're, like, having a wee kiss or whatever, and then you do, like, I don't know, you, like, feel like the air of, like, the eyelash open or something. There's, like, something, and you just go, and you're, like, you just this fucking close to someone, and they're just staring at you. You're like, what are you doing? like, why are your eyes open? And she's like, don't know, always keep my eyes open. I'm like, why? And I think it's because Margaret is always at some level worried that someone's going to rob something off her. And so won't, for a moment, allow her eyes to be closed. She's just all... just keeping an eye out.
Yep. You got it. Someone has to.
She's like our own little security system. Just don't you worry, you close your... You enjoy
You
it.
shift away.
You enjoy yourself, I'll keep it safe.
Something tells me you're not fully into this kiss, Margaret. You're stalking the perimeter of the house.
I'm just keeping us safe. Please let me know if you also think this is the most ridiculous thing that you've ever fucking heard of in your life. Because she is, as with most of anything that she has a strong opinion on, which... frustratingly, to be going out with me is most things as well. She is so confident that I will be very surprised by the amount of people that also do this. And in my career, what would you call it? I've never come across this.
Your vocation.
Yeah, it's certainly fucking news to me.
I remember a few early shifts at the Kappa Disco.
Eyes wide open.
Eyes wide open, staring into the fucking...
Isn't it the weirdest?
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing?
The gentle clinking of braces. The smell of Lynx Africa just ripe in your nose.
Yeah, I bought some of that the other day just because I needed some, like, last minute, and it was just went into like a fucking centre or something and just grabbed it and was like the memories it brought back, just all the shame. And all the weird sweaty disco, fucking teen discos, weird smell.
And then standing for the national anthem at the end of it. Do you not do that now?
No.
You used to always play the national anthem in the GAA disco at 12 o'clock.
My mum and my uncle used to always finish with the national anthem on Paddy's Day whenever they were booked to play a gig on Paddy's Day. And I used to always ask, is it just because it's Paddy's Day? And she was like, no, it's the only way that people would stop asking for songs. Because it's like disrespectful to ask for another song after the national anthem. I was like, pro. She's been in the game. She knows the crack.
I'd like to see you try that in Belfast.
I wonder if I could do like a mashup, keep everyone happy, and then be blown away when no one is happy. I tried.
Right, will we wrap us up there for the night?
Let's do it. I'm getting the impression that do you kiss with your eyes closed questions.
Well, no, that's two things we need to get feedback from. So I want to hear about things that you may have noticed.
This is true.
And
Was that last week's episode?
That was last week's episode. And whether or not you kiss with your eyes open.
Yes.
If you do, we want to hear from you.
We want to hear it. We want to hear all about it.
And if it's just even if you've noticed that you don't kiss with your eyes open, that counts as well. Feel free to get in touch on both fronts there.
Yes. In fact, I worry that the people who kiss with their eyes closed will think that there will be such an overwhelming majority of people who will get in touch on their behalf that they won't bother getting in touch. But I need you to come out in your numbers to really just prove a point.
And if you are kissing with your eyes closed, what are you thinking about?
I don't need to edit the graphic in anymore. I've just realised that's a 10 seconds I get back every week.
Class. What'll you do with them?
Just slightly longer wine.